morning, good afternoon, fellow Biafrans all over the world. I welcome you to this evening State of the Nation address, emergency one as that. My fellow Biafrans, compatriots living abroad, I want to start by paying tribute to our fallen heroes, heroines, and forebears, and patriots who have sacrificed and dedicated their lives and themselves for our freedom and upcoming independence of Biafra. I also wish to express my deep gratitude to their families and loved ones. Our Biafra liberation movement is to build a nation that is going to be free and democratic. We are fighting to build a nation where the people are its rightful owners, and a nation where freedom, human rights, and the rule of law reign supreme. The liberation of Biafra is not just to reclaim our sovereignty or a territorial or our natural resources, but it is never also to attempt to establish a communist or totalitarian state where freedom and human rights are ignored, like the present Islamic Nigeria. I do not know what system of government they practice there in Nigeria. But as far as I know, it is not something that anybody in the world should be proud of. And for any country that is having any diplomatic relationship today with Nigeria, or supporting Nigeria, or aiding Nigeria in any way, is aiding their own future doom. They are also aiding and supporting terrorism. And such nation or such country will be doing so at their own advantage at the present time, but not to the long run. So, from the perspective of the whole mankind, the liberation of Biafra movement is universal and a just cause that must be done for us to have a better and sane society. Even after regaining the independence of Biafra and making sure we regain our sovereignty and liberating our people from Nigeria, our independence and liberation movement will still go on, because we will fight to defend our nation's freedom against Islamic State aggression. With the value of democracy in place in Biafra, we will achieve economic development, industrialization, and democratization. This will put Biafra in the map of a well-developed or developing countries in a matter of years. The Islamization agenda is not just against Biafra people alone. Today, the Biafra liberation movement is gaining more momentum, gaining more popularity, and we are building on rock, which our children and unborn generation will inherit. And they will also inherit the spirit of our independence and this liberation movement. And I call it the Sisu movement of Biafra. Biafra government in exile and the Biafra de facto government, with the structure in place, we now envision a global pivot pivotal Biafra Confederate state, feel its role and responsibility in the international community for the freedom, peace, and prosperity of all global citizens. This is very far from what Nigeria represents. In Biafra, we will properly remember those who gave their lives for the liberation of Biafra. We are going to also bring independence to our country that will uphold the universal values. This is very far from what Nigeria represents. We are remembering and honoring them in a right way. And doing this is very vital and essential for our national identity and continuity. Many Nigerian terrorist army who have died in Biafra land, their families are not even aware of it. Nigeria is not a place, it's not a country, it is not an entity that you can die for. And if you are today wearing a military uniform, wearing police uniform, and you have been sent to Biafra land to kill us, it's a promise. This is not 2015, this is not 2016, neither this is 2017, nor 2018. If you attempt to come to Biafra to commit the genocide that I have committed unchecked for many years, you, my fellow Biafrans, today will be in the history as a day the terrorist chief of defense staff, IGP, and all Nigeria terrorist service chiefs appeared at their green Islamic chamber called the National Assembly, the House of Representatives, to cry how Biafra have defeated them. They accused my humble self, the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, of sabotaging security in the East. I do not know what kind of sabotage they are talking about, but I want to inform the world today that Biafra Liberation Army killed those who came to Biafra land to kill our women and children. They killed them, and they will continue to do that till the last day we will stay in Nigeria. The sabotage the Prime Minister of Biafra have done against the Nigeria terrorist state is that I rose up to defend the defenseless. I rose up to speak and give voice to the voiceless. I rose up to say enough is enough. You have killed enough and somebody have to do something. That is the sabotage they are talking about. The sabotage that the terrorist Nigeria army we are talking about today is that Simon Ekpa rose up to stop the Islamization of Biafrans, to stop the expansion of the Islamic State in the eastern region of Nigeria. That is the sabotage they are talking about. And if that is what they know to be sabotage, I will be sabotaging them 100 times a week, 200 times a day, 300 times a week, as long as we continue to remain and fight for our freedom from Nigeria. This particular sabotage is globally acceptable. Biafra people, it will continue to be that the Biafra Liberation Army will fight to defend the defenseless children, innocent children and women that are dying every day in the hand of the Nigeria terrorist army. And this particular self-defense will continue to be activated in the entire Biafra territory. The wise decision we have made in the Biafra government in exile is to build unbreakable security structure. And now the process of building a liberal democracy in the de facto government as well as alliances and the hard work of our people have enabled the Biafra government in exile to achieve a phenomenal success we see today. As you see them crying today at National Assembly, when we tell you a lot is going on, you can understand what it means. Biafrans all over the world, this evening, I am very privileged to address you. Our target as a nation is to escape from the horrendous poverty and deprivation inflicted on us by the Nigeria state and Britain. Today, they have increased the poverty by demolition of the Biafra properties in Lagos. This demolition is not stopping anytime soon. In case, for those of you who are staying in different parts of Lagos thinking it is not coming to you, the target is to crush the economy of the Biafra people. We have been there before. We will overcome again. For you to overcome as a Biafran in Lagos, you must listen and obey the directive coming from the Biafra Republic government in exile. And that directive says, relocate your businesses back to Biafra land, where your security will be guaranteed. Irrespective of whatever we are doing to make sure we evict Nigeria and delegitimize Nigeria within Biafra land. It is not about you. The reason we are fighting today is to make Biafra land a safer place for you and your children. Like I said, this demolition going on in Lagos is not going to stop anytime soon. So, we continue to call on Biafrans in Lagos to start to relocate back to Biafra land, where your security of life and properties will be guaranteed. The stark difference between the Biafra Republic government in exile of today that opted for armed struggle, I said, the difference between the Biafra Republic government in exile today that opted for armed struggle in self-defense and pursue the liberation of the Biafra people from Nigeria and other Nigeria political pressure group called IPOB Nigeria that choose to support Nigeria during election, and they even have a candidate. In each election, this IPOB Nigeria support a candidate in every election. After their candidate has lost monumentally, they will come back to start shouting Biafra. The difference could not be any clearer than what happened in the entire 2023 electoral process.
My good people of Biafra, we'll come to the end of today's broadcast coming from Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, where he touched some issues bordering Biafra and also the Biafran freedom and other things which he just explained here. Thank you for listening. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe to this channel. Thank you. God bless you all. Bye.